is a fellow spiritual coach, healer, and more. And we're here today to talk about seeing the potential in everything, which I think the more I've thought about it, actually, the deeper it gets. And that's a beautiful topic, I think, for this time of year. It's thought-provoking, and it really also follows up on our focus for last month when I think we had several circles that dealt with rising above all the conflict that's going on around us and maintaining a positive outlook. And actually, it seems like it worked because things came out better than expected, at least here in the election. I think for many of us who were concerned about what was going on that level. And it's just looking like things are lightening up a little bit. And now, of course, we're moving into the holiday season that has its own set of challenges. And I have a dog here. I'm going to have to let him on my lap because he's verbalizing. This is our buddy. So it's an opportunity to really relate to this also in relation to seeing the potential in everything when we're bringing all of family together and all of the different forces together that are related to the holidays, and also to ultimately to opening to a new year that is just around the corner. And it's good to be thinking of the new beginnings that are coming for us too. So that gives us a lot to discuss. And with that, Gretchen, I'd like to turn it to you. Can you just share some of your thoughts about this topic?
Sure. Seeing the potential in everything to me is like seeing the positive in everything, and that's what I actually look for, because I want to keep my energy up. I want to keep my energy vibrations up, and in order to do that, you really have to, like you and I were talking earlier, it's about trust. You have to be able to trust in the universe that everything is going to end up the way that you need it to end up. That everything is going to work out just fine, and by staying up with my energy, that's important, because then I'm attracting that same vibration of things working out well. I don't want to if I'm facing a challenge and it feels really daunting, I don't want to get mired down in the negative and kind of wallow in that. I want to be able to lift myself out of that and really keep my energy vibrations up. And that's really, it's challenging, because I feel like it's interesting. What I end up doing is I end up kind of conjuring up things that I've known that have worked before for me. So and our brains love to compare and contrast things. So
Right.
It's actually helpful in that situation, because I'm able to think about other times when it's worked out, when I've trusted. It's like, remember that time, Gretchen, when this happened and you were so worried and the things worked out because you started to trust. And so if I can remind myself, that there are opportunities out there, and there have been things that have worked out beautifully because of that trust. It was looking for the positive, not just, oh, why does this happen to me all the time? That's what I'm attracting if I,
if that's where you are.
Right, exactly.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, and that energy is repressive. I think that's another way, the way I like to look at vibrations. If we're kind of wallowing around in the mud, and we may think, well, gee, things are really awful. It's true, you might say, and you can always find those things that are awful. But that's repressive. In other words, it actually is repressing the good from coming to you. And the positive, if we're focusing on love and joy and possibilities, potential, I like to call it pure potential, this place where who knows, but it's all good. Then we're going to be drawing to us more of that. Right. And I think where we have challenges, it's not that challenges are bad either. That when we have challenges, to see the blessings in them and the opportunities for growth, really.
Right. And I think the more that you kind of embrace that and trust the universe is going to provide, the easier it becomes. You're not quite so stopped every time. It might be a little pause in life, but it's not a full halt, you know, in life where you're like, oh, everything's devastating and awful. And that's true. We have those times, but if we can push through those times and see the positive and the potential in it, it changes everything. It's amazing what an amazing energy shift it can really have, you know, with your trajectory in life.
Right. Right. I'm a firm believer in divine order. And it also, I think it's easy to say, well, I believe in divine order, but then when something happens that isn't the way that you want it to be happening, or doesn't feel like what you deserve or whatever, then the doubts come in.
Yeah.
And what I've found also is, even if it seems like it's something, there occasionally, I think we all encounter times when things happen that are so bad, you think, you know, this is devastation.
Right.
If we can just shift our focus away from devastation and into, well, who knows, something good may be coming out of this, just to start lifting ourselves up, and maybe even taking a break from thinking of it and just thinking about something that makes us feel good, it can shift things. It really can.
Right. Right. And I think that's where I start to compare and contrast. I try to remember those times when it has worked. You know, I kind of have this little talk with myself like, all right, you know, this is a challenge, but it doesn't have to be. It's all in how you perceive it, you know. And right now, you know that there have been other times in your life where you've needed to trust, and this is one of those times. It's kind of like you just have a little coaching talk with yourself, you know, and that helps, you know. And we could think of other ways that we've succeeded in life. I think that helps raise our energy back up, you know, and know that it's possible for us. It has
Right.
been possible. We have lots of things in our past that have shown us that it is possible. So
Right.
right. That's
Yeah.
everybody does, you know.
Right. So another thing that we were talking about, which we talk about here in the circle and just together, Gretchen and me and other co-hosts, the people who we have here, is our connection with the beings of light who are around us, because they're here to help us to understand that everything is okay, and that we can also call on them for support.
Right. Right.
The archangels and the ascended masters are available to us, and they're very amazing, all of them loving, beautiful beings who have something that they can share with us that will help. But we have to call on them.
Right, right. And I think you know, I work with my guardian angel as well as my guides, and that's kind of sometimes that's an overlooked part because people feel that that's so restricted to religion, and it's not. You know, everyone has their own guides and guardians, and that's one of the ways that I can help kind of reconnect to um, the beautiful flow of the universe, to know that this is all part of the divine plan, and it really does help raise your vibration working with the angels. They're always there, but we need to solicit their help. You know, they're not going to intervene unless it's catastrophic, you know.
Right.
That's usually the guardian angel that does that. So yeah, so we just need to invite them in and know that they're going to help every time that we invite them in. There's no question, you know, they're there to help.
Right. Right. Yeah. And it generally amazes me, something about the interaction when I invite that and actually open to it, and I think within a place of trust and in a place of wanting the truth. So we have to come from a pure place in our own hearts too for that to work. But when we do, the most amazing things happen
Right.
regularly.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's like expect miracles, you know, daily,
Right.
as they're happening daily. Right. And
Right.
part of it too is seeing the potential and everything. For me, is really acknowledging that there is potential. You know, we kind of have to take that first step off point where we have to believe that there is potential in everything, that there is a positive angle to everything as well. And so
Mhm.
that's I think sometimes the hardest part is just that little launching point, just to say, okay, I'm going to surrender now and I'm going to trust the universe. And I think once we do that, everything else kind of flows along with it. We open our hearts up and we're in that beautiful heart space, then you can't go wrong. It's all going to manifest. It's all going to come to you in beautiful ways. So,
Right. And it's another something a channeled person who I like to listen to, actually, myself, and often I repeat things from, is Bashar. Are you familiar with Bashar, Gretchen?
I'm not. No.
The person, his name is Daryl Anka. He's been channeling Bashar for 40 years now. And Bashar has a very simple approach to creating things, creating our lives. And one of the principles that he uses is to see the positive potential in everything, to see that whatever is happening, there's something positive about it. So even if it's not something that you want to create, say, well, I'm wanting to have this wonderful, relaxing drive to so-and-so, and then you run into a huge traffic jam. He recommends looking at what's positive about it, even if it might be something as simple as, well, this is not what I prefer to create, this traffic jam. Right. And you can say that I can still be in the flow with the divine, and look at, maybe it happened so that I would have more time to chill out. Maybe I was in too much of a momentum. What might the message be in it for me?
Right. It could be preventing you from getting hurt in an accident.
Right.
It could be all about that timing too. I think that's always amazing when I see, when I read articles about that. People say, they find this out after the fact, and it's always amazing. And that's when you see proof, that is, that was what was meant to happen. It's beautiful.
Right.
That you can get support in that way as well. So I try to feel like that, I try to tune into that, that this could have been preventing something much more awful.
Right.
Than
exactly.
What I'm experiencing
and you
right
just
now.
don't know. Right.
Right. Exactly. They just don't know. I think that's beautiful, though. I mean, the way the universe works to support you that way.
Right.
Really feel supportive. So.
Right. I remember one time Philip and I, we were driving through Los Angeles, which is always, that's a challenge in itself. And at a certain point, we decided to get off the freeway and take a break. I can't remember exactly what we were doing, but we were off the freeway for about 10 minutes, and we got back onto the freeway, and right in front of just past where we got off the freeway, there was a huge accident, multi-car accident. And we thought, wow, we got off. That could have been us.
Right.
And you don't know. I think that's such an important point. And I'm glad you brought it up, because even if something looks like it's not what you want to create, but do you really think you know what's better?
Right. What
what's
might feel
good,
like
what's good and bad.
Right.
That's another part of it's like our brain is always trying to decide, well, this is good, this is bad, this is awful,
Right.
this shouldn't have happened. Well, how do you know?
Right. I think, this momentary inconvenience that you're feeling because of this abrupt change in your daily schedule actually had, a beautiful blessing around it, and of course we often don't know. Hindsight, like they say, is 20/20. So we don't often know until after the fact. But that, I think, is another way to reaffirm that the universe is trying to always tell us that, I'm behind you, I'm protecting you. You're divinely protected, and I think as long as we trust the universe to provide that, we'll stay in that flow. It won't feel quite as inconvenient if we can kind of remind ourselves of that each time,
Right. Yeah. So the thought for today actually is to take some time to connect with those divine beings, and to sense how valuable they are to us. I think, for me at least, the more I've done that, the more tangible their presence feels. Although I also believe, and I also think, if we just open ourselves to their frequencies and to their, you could call it, each one has a unique energetic signature, we can sense that.
Right. Right.
So we'll be able to do that too. And actually, it's a little early for where we usually have the meditation, but maybe we should just start now, because I'm thinking this might be a conversational meditation also, where we can be communing with them and sensing what they want to share with us, and also what we're receiving from it, because this is another part of the interactions. It's not just, well, they can share their wisdom with us. Well, we can interact with them too. And the way that we integrate their messages is very important, or just their energy. So you ready?
Yes.
Okay. And we'll just start as we usually do, and close your eyes. And breathe. It just, when we turn our attention to our breath, it helps us to quiet our minds. Just connecting with your breath and your body, breathing in that beautiful energy and light from the universe around us, all of the blessings that are available to us right in this moment. And as you exhale, releasing anything that is not serving you now, any energy that isn't serving you now. And allow it to flow, can flow back into the earth and be transformed into light. And of course, in doing that, then we create more space for light within our fields, which brings us more into the moment. So breathing in more of that love and light from all of these beings who are around us. And again, releasing with the exhale. And you can send that energy anywhere. You might notice tension, like if you carry tension around your shoulders, just invite that light in to help it to release. And something I like to do personally whenever I open to my inner world is just to, with my intention, to ask any energy that is not my own to leave my space now. So I invite you to do that too, because with the power of our intention, when we ask for that has to occur. We can just send any energy we've picked up from other people or other places, other times, whatever. Just allow it to go back where it came from, so we can be more in our bodies, and then filling that space with light. And we similarly leave bits of ourselves in other places and other times, so we can just ask for any of our own energy that's ready to come back to us, to have it come back now. And you may even feel a sense of it coming back. I usually can feel it. It does make me feel more complete. And you might notice now, just breathing, that you feel more present in your body in the moment. So these are just a few very, very simple things you can do to create that presence that you want to have when we invite in those beautiful beings who are supporting us from above. And of course, you can send some of that light and love into the brain itself, and just ask the brain to relax, allowing any thoughts you don't need right now to drift away. They can come back later. I think they have a desire to express themselves, and afterwards would be fine. Right now, we just want to be present to the experience. And just notice how that feels. And now with that, I'd like to ask everyone to imagine that you're on your spiritual path. Say, just imagine yourself maybe rising up into the spiritual realms, onto your spiritual path on a higher plane of reality. And notice the past extending behind you and the future extending out before you. And you now are in your place in the moment, surrounded by whatever is around you on your path. And you might notice also in that image that there's a place you can rest on your path as we invite in these beings to join us. Maybe there's a place in the grass or a seat somewhere, or who knows. Just whatever is right for you to spend a little time here on your path. And with that, I want to start. I'm going to invite in the angels of the four directions. As we noted before, all of the angels are beings of love and light. And each one has a unique perspective and gifts for us that you can access with your intention. So I want to start focusing on the east. And the east is the element of air, and the archangel associated with it is Archangel Raphael, who is a powerful angelic healer. So we can just invite Raphael to join us. And as he reaches out to you, now you can open to being surrounded by a beautiful, sparkling emerald green light. Just feeling that all around you and just feeling him sharing that light with you. And this emerald green light has the power to transmute those restrictive energies that we were talking about before, in the body, in the emotions, mind, and spirit, on all levels of our being, of transmuting those and transforming them into love. So as we connect with Raphael in this way, just invite that light into each of your cells and just open to what he might want to share with you regarding healing as a master healer, healing angel. And what I'm perceiving is that he's actually validating what we were saying, that when we can release those things that are not serving us, there's more space for us to be present to what actually is possible for us. And to know that he's always here to support us in healing. Gretchen, are you noting anything?
I am. I'm sensing with that green color, that beautiful green light, I feel like it also that he is saying something to me about growth, and it's about, this is the kind of the time of year where we start to incubate the seeds of our future. And so, this is when the earth, for those of us in the northern hemisphere, we're going into winter. And so this is the time where we start planting those seeds, and they'll sleep throughout the winter, but then they'll awaken in the spring. And so this is kind of the time of incubating seeds is what I'm hearing. And if, these are the times to start seeding your projects and let them sleep for a while to grow in energy.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And it feels so right. It's interesting. It made me think too of Christmas, the idea of Christmas or the holidays, that it's a time of gift giving and sharing. And on a deeper level, it may be planting those seeds. The gifts are the seeds that we want to give ourselves,
Right.
that we want to plant for ourselves and those around us. And if we can view the holidays in this way, from a more spiritual perspective, as divine gifts, giving each other divine gifts, it might make it easier rather than feeling, well, what's the perfect gift?
Kindness.
Right.
Kindness.
Yeah, the perfect gift may look very much different if we look at it in that way.
Right.
It feels so good.
It does. It's a beautiful energy.
And in every case, I want to thank Raphael for being with us. I think it's really important for us to express our gratitude for their presence also. So I want to thank him for being with us and holding that space in the east as we move on to the south, which is the fire element, and the archangel associated with the south is Archangel Michael. And he's kind of a warrior protector angel. He's empowering, he brings strength and focus. And so as he joins us, just open to, in this case, a vibrant electric blue light and energy from Michael. You may sense him holding you and protecting you, so you can feel safe and even more loved. Raphael brought us much love, and Michael has even more for us. I find personally connecting with Michael, it does make me feel strong and sturdy. And I know that I can call on him anytime I feel like I just want to validate that I am being protected. I generally call on him when I'm driving, especially long distance driving. So we can just send also the blessings of that electric blue light into all of the cells of our body, feeling that power and strength, and knowing that he's offering it to us too. People often sense him offering them a sword. He brings a sword or a staff, which I feel is a higher, kind of the higher dimensional frequency of that light. Gretchen, are you sensing anything here?
Yeah, I feel like he's giving me the message of, we can call upon him when we need to get rid of the things that no longer serve us, that he can help us to symbolically or metaphorically cut through those things that bind us,
Mm-hmm.
to lower vibrations. And we can invite him in when we want to do that kind of work with ourselves to cut through those things, that those ties or those bindings that keep us from growing, to keep us from keep our heart from opening. Or and I feel like I see an image of the sword, and it's flaming in these beautiful blue flames, and it's very powerful, but it's also very calming. It's not like a war symbol. It's a symbol of that kind of quick divisive action that he can help us with when we're ready to let go of things.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's an important point too about cutting ties, that if you feel that that someone is trying to control you, there are energetic ties actually that that can be created between people. Some are positive, like love between people. That's a positive chord. Negative ones might be if someone is wanting to control your thinking or your actions or whatever. You can just ask Archangel Michael to help you to cut those cords. And this is a good time for that too. Cut any limiting connections you sense with the people around you in the holidays, and open to a new relationship with them.
Right. And to me, it also reminds me of like if you want help with maybe letting go some bad habits or some
Mm-hmm.
addictions
Right.
like that, he can really help with that, and really infuse it with that loving energy of letting go. There can be a lot of love in letting go. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that's some of his message today for me as well.
Mm-hmm. And just understand we are, all of us, powerful beings of light too.
Yes.
We're not reaching to powerful beings of light that are any better in their eyes than they are. They view us as the masters that actually reside within us. You could say we are enlightened beings at different levels of reality, and at the highest levels of reality, we're masters. We just don't know it yet. But he wants us to be aware of how powerful we are, each and every one of us. And it doesn't have to be physical strength. For each of us, we can just ask what it is for ourselves. What is power for me, for instance? because this is an opportunity whenever we connect with enlightened beings. It's an opportunity to be more enlightened ourselves about who we are and embrace those qualities within ourselves because they're there. So I want to thank Michael for being with us. I feel so good. And now we move, we're only partway there too. There's more. We're going to move to the west and invoke the element of water, which is emotions, and Archangel Gabriel, who's the messenger angel, said to have been the angel who announced the birth of Jesus. And as Gabriel reaches out, you might sense yourself being surrounded by beautiful diamond white light. And of course, with each one, whatever it is for you is right. They may be interjecting other colors and seeds of possibility for you. So just be open to it. And with that, even more divine love and wisdom and guidance. I'm just opening to, I'm just sensing that sense of the depths of the water and the depths of our emotions in this. He's also the communicator angel for us, that if we're wanting to have support with communication, that he can help us. Makes me think of the throat. I can feel in my throat a little congestion, so we can ask that diamond white light, if you feel any congestion like that, you can just ask for it to be cleared, so you can open to your own truth in a very pure and positive way. Sometimes we can't communicate because we feel we can't do it without being overwhelmed by the emotion. So this is a place you can go to Gabriel and just ask him to help you with that. Another just beautiful, beautiful light. Oh, Gretchen, any
Yeah,
messages for you here or
this
for
is
us?
this is particularly striking for me, this beautiful diamond white light. I feel with this light that comes the message also of harmony with our communication, that
Yes.
and it's about being conscientious of our words and how we speak, and in our communications. So it's about harmony and calm. I keep getting this sense of calm. I can see this white light just kind of cascading down all around me, all over me, and it's almost opaque. It's not even translucent. It's just sparkling and very white and vibrant, and just feels like calm. You know, like if we have if we're calm and centered in our communication, we will have more harmony, is what I'm hearing.
Right, right. And I think many times we may not know that that's possible. I know my childhood was not one where I was taught how to communicate in a positive way. So communication was like a battle in my family, and it was very difficult, so much so that I became really quiet and really couldn't express myself at all by the time I became an adult. And it is through actually I think my spiritual growth that I was able to also begin to open that up and recognize that I can say the things that I need to say without being overwhelmed by the emotion. And one of them that was the most poignant was my father, who was an alcoholic and very overwhelmingly powerful person in my childhood, that he would actually belittle me, and certainly belittled me for all of my spiritual pursuits. And it came one time I was talking to him on the phone and sharing something I was doing, and he said, "Well, that's the most stupid thing I ever heard." Just this loud, nasty voice. And I said, "That wasn't a very nice thing to say," just in a very calm way. And it changed everything. I had no idea how much it could change if I just claimed my own power to be able to express myself. But the next time, that was almost the end of the conversation. And the next time I called him back after a couple weeks, and he was a completely different person. It was like he's a little mouse, and he said, "Oh, I thought you were mad at me." I was probably 40 years old at that time, and I had never thought to talk back to him.
Yeah, there is so much power in being calm.
Right.
There really is. It's that stillness is just a particularly unique energy, and that calm stillness, it kind of leads you into places where your heart can open more, and there's more compassion in your
Mhm.
communication as well. And
Right.
sometimes we feel the need we have to defend ourselves, but there are other times if we can just pause and kind of embrace that calm stillness where we're not feeling defensive or having to defend ourselves. It's
Mhm.
amazing how much that energy can shift. And it's kind of what I'm feeling really strongly right now. This message is for me, and being calm and centered, there'll be more clarity and harmony in my communication.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
beautiful.
easier to see that there's potential in things. I think earlier in my life, I didn't really appreciate the challenges I went through as a child, and many of us do. I
Hmm.
think many of us, especially especially probably light workers and spiritual healers and way showers and such, um, that we are challenged in different ways at a young age so that we can overcome those challenges as part of our growth.
Right.
And now I appreciate it. And I also realize that my family, for however dysfunctional it was, that they also did love me, and I don't resent any of it. I think that that's important too, is to realize it's all part of the plan, and I'm grateful for that. So we ready for going to the north? And to the north, we can call on Archangel Uriel, and this is the element of earth. And with earth, and Uriel, we can invite him to join us. Oh, I do want to also thank Gabriel for being with us. Just, I think it's so important to express that gratitude as we invite Uriel to come in. And you might notice him with a beautiful ruby red light. And ruby red is actually the first visible color in the rainbow that's closest to Earth, you might say. Uriel focuses on our ability to manifest on the Earth plane and to find the blessings in adversity. That might be, you might say that that's part of it, is to that he has a very tangible sense of how we can view our lives as having higher meaning. So we're just opening to this new vibration of love and light and groundedness, bringing us down to earth and just seeing the blessings all around us in this world, the beauty of the world. And also seeing our challenges as opportunities in the divine plan, which we may not we may not be aware of how they fit in, and we may be able to receive some support here.
When you were saying that, I was actually hearing, you know, all of us are soul beings having an earthly experience, and that there's a lot of beauty in having this experience. And so the challenges, the highs, the lows, all of that is part of the experience. And there we need to find, the joy in that this is a gift to be human. In other words, this is,
Mhm.
I feel strongly that that was kind of that energy coming through, is be lighthearted, yes, be
Mhm.
grounded, but it felt kind of joyful and almost playful, Muriel, the energy coming in. And um, to me, it means a little bit about lightening up, lighten up.
Right.
That you're having this, you're human, you're fallible, you're going to make mistakes, lighten up. This is
Mhm.
part of the human experience. You're not expected to be perfect. You're not
Mhm.
expected to do things perfectly. You're expected to be human. Right now, this is what you're doing. So
Right.
I think there, you can put a lot of tension or a lot of pressure on yourself, and this is the message to me, is just to lighten up,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
enjoy being a human, enjoy your incarnation, enjoy being human.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And part of what stops us, what I'm sensing with this too, is that we somehow feel like we are responsible or have to do something about those who are not
Mm.
coming from a positive light. And there are some very serious things going on the planet now. All we can do is play our part to the best of our ability. And of course, we can send love to places like the Ukraine on the planet and other places where people are suffering, and recognize that all of this somehow, that's their divine plan to be part of that. And
Right.
it's interesting. I remember 9/11. After that, I checked in with my guidance about, well, what about all of those souls who left left the physical plane in that disaster? And what I was told is that they volunteered for that. They volunteered, and many of these things are demonstrations on a humanity level, like demonstrating, you could say in the Ukraine, even demonstrating the power of the human spirit in relation to democracy in their country, to wanting to have the opportunity to create the country that they want and fighting for it, that they actually volunteered for that. And to recognize that we have to honor that for those people who are in those situations, those souls who volunteered to come. And that's it is a demonstration for the whole world. So we can also appreciate the profound gifts that those who are going through those experiences are providing for the rest of us.
Right. And I'm also hearing, in addition to what you're saying, I feel like Uriel is also reminding us, as much as you're a human, remember that you're also a soul being,
Right,
so don't get so bogged down in the earthly stuff,
right,
that there are choices to be made, and every soul makes a choice. So we need to me, the earth is about bringing balance to the fact that we're both earthly and ethereal, essentially.
right, right. That we're in this actually wanting to be in a place of balance between heaven and earth.
Right. Right. And we can do that. We actually,
Yes.
we are capable of doing that, just like we are capable of healing ourselves and that having a ripple effect out onto the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Never
Right.
forget that our individual power is quite a bit, as
Mm-hmm.
humans.
Right. Right. So we've met with 4 angels, the 4 directions, who are all with us and creating a balance around us. And you can do this as your own meditation too, connecting with each one and feeling that balance. And we're going to also add, um, I want to add you could say the vertical plane, which is heaven and earth, and invite in first Archangel Metatron, who is the archangel who is said to be closest to God, and just invite him to join us. Beautiful, beautiful being. And you could imagine him gifting us with some sparkling golden white light. Just feel it flowing down from heaven over us, and feeling that connectedness that we have with our creator, with our source. Metatron can bring us a greater sense of peace and ability to bridge that kind of that gap between ourselves and the divine, and also divine order, to understand divine order in things, ascend to a higher plane in our perspective. To me, it just feels beautiful. I'm just feeling the light. What
It
about
really
you, Gretchen?
does. Yeah, it's just beautiful. I keep hearing as above, so below. And to me, that usually means not only balance, but it also means that whatever is, happening on our earthly plane is being reflected above us. So we want to stay in those higher vibrations,
Mm-hmm.
because it's being reflected back to us. It's being mirrored back to us. And
Mm-hmm.
I see Metatron standing with a giant mirror behind him, kind of pointing that out to me. Sometimes the angels are very literal with me. So it's one thing I find, that angels are very literal. They don't beat around the bush. They don't tell you things in riddles. They're very straightforward. And I
Mm-hmm.
really appreciate that. So
Yeah.
for me, the message is, again, just about balance and balancing as above, so below, and knowing that nothing happens in a vacuum, as that old saying goes, that we do have an impact on the world as humans. We do have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of power, and we have a lot of power to create our own life and to affect the lives of others. So,
Mm-hmm.
everything needs to be kept kind of in balance.
Mm-hmm. Right. I just love to feel his energy. It always, to me, just is so reassuring and uplifting. That's just a very simple thing, to invite Archangel Metatron to bless us with that beautiful, sparkling golden white light.
I often feel, when we're calling him in, I often feel him standing behind me, and in my mind's eye, I reach behind with my left hand and I can feel just the edge of his feathery wings.
Hmm. It's
It's just
beautiful.
beautiful.
Hmm. And that's true with the angels. You might feel them hugging you with their wings. There's so many ways we can experience them.
It's beautiful.
And we have one more, balancing between heaven and earth. We turn now to Archangel Sandalphon, who brings up the crystalline energies of the earth. So we can just feel the energies from the earth rising up through our bodies and grounding us. So now we can feel that connection between Metatron and Sandalphon, with us in between, receiving balance from both. Sandalphon is often thought of as a guardian of the earth, an angel of earth healing. And with his presence, we might feel that the depth of our connection with Mother Earth, and the beauty of that, the divinity in that.
That's beautiful. This is what I'm receiving right now, is to not forget that we have human support too. As much as we call upon the angels, or have need to
Mm-hmm.
call upon our spiritual guides, our guardians, that we also have resources here on the planet, that there are many, many good people doing good work on this planet that can help
Right.
if we need help.
Yeah.
Beyond our family, beyond our friends circles, there are people out there that can be supportive, and we can call on Sadelphon to help us access that earthly support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing what we can do, how they can support us. And they're so willing and available too. So now we've invited in all of these beautiful beings to balance us. And I do feel I feel like I'm in a completely different place. Um, so we're still on the spiritual path, and might take a moment to look back at your past and notice how far you've traveled to be at this point of being actually a point of light for the world, a beam of light for the world, and what lies ahead in the future. I see us now walking forward with all of these beings supporting us. These we've actually recognized here, and many, many more are with us. And just feel the beauty in that, and the potential in that. We're not alone. Everything is in divine order. and we have a beautiful, bright future. Do you see anything out in that future, Gretchen?
Hmm. I think what I see are people aligning. I kind of see like energetic cords that are beautiful golden threads
Mm-hmm.
that tie people together, that tie them through their love, through their kindness, through their compassion, through their own inner strength to choose love over hate. I think those are all beautiful little threads that we have that connect us to each other, that connect us to other people of a like mind. And it together we kind of weave this beautiful like a tapestry, you know, we're
Mm-hmm.
all woven together, these beautiful, but they're not restrictive cords. They're not cords that are tethering us to people. They are these beautiful threads that connect us to people.
Mm-hmm.
They're not holding us, you know, binding
Right.
us.
Right.
It's something that's flexible and almost like a liquid light. I see kind of connecting these little threads between all of us. And I think
Mm-hmm.
it's beautiful. And I think that that awareness is coming more and more into people's field of vision. And there are
Yeah.
more people awakening in this time of the Great Awakening. And I think putting our love out to those people that have yet to awaken, I think is what I'm getting right now, is just to send love out to those people that have yet to awaken, and that
Mm-hmm.
they'll
Yeah.
come along. And you know, the future is going to hold a lot more people that are awakened and aware.
Right. And we can see that coming into the holidays, all of
Mm,
our interactions to invite those beautiful chords of love between us.
yes.
I'm seeing lots of sparkles with it.
Always.
And in the future, I see the light of the divine just inviting us forward.
Yeah, I see it kind of cascading over all of us as we're
Mm-hmm.
moving forward together. I think that's beautiful. Just people upon people,
Mm.
just all these
Yeah.
beautiful souls.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So with that, we're ready to come back from, this was our longest meditation ever in the circle. So just feeling yourself grounded now in your seat and bringing back all of the blessings that you received from this time that we had together with the angels. And again, thanking all of them with our deep, deep gratitude and feeling the depth of their love, which is something that for me has been um, amazing. I would say it's kind of it's breathtaking. It's hard to even describe how magnificent it feels and how beautiful it is. So anyone, if you feel you're not loved, just invite them because you are. And again, just feeling grounded to the earth and you're still connected with the divine and all of these beautiful angels. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
My eyes were tearing up. It was
Mm.
beautiful. I didn't want
Yeah,
to come back.
that felt so good.
It did. It
That
felt
was more than a half an hour.
that was beautiful
But it
though.
was
I'm so
so,
glad we took the time to do it in
me
that kind of
too.
pace, because I feel like I received a lot more information. And I'm thrilled that you've recorded this so that we can refer back to it.
Right,
I feel like
right.
a little when I go out of dimensions a little bit, I feel like I lose some of it when I bring it back. So it's good
Mm-hmm.
to hear it all again. So thank you.
Yeah.
That was beautiful, Jane.
Oh, thank you. You had such beautiful insights, and it was a co-creation.
Yes, definitely. I love that. That was beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting now for all of us to reflect on if we feel any differently about seeing the potential in everything.
I do. Yeah, I
I
feel
do. Even I felt pretty good
really
about it
upbeat. Yeah,
before, but it's
me
like
too.
it's just
Yeah.
it's almost indescribable. Just I guess the depth of that connection that we have with those beautiful beings of light is, and this is how I sense it for myself so often that it's almost overwhelming how breathtakingly beautiful it is.
I actually get giddy. I get kind of like my inner child gets really excited almost.
Yeah.
for so long, I was, you know, I believed that this was not accessible to me because I was no longer practicing Catholicism. I was no longer
Mm-hmm.
practicing Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, I kind of cut myself off from working with any angels for a very long time. And I know you've been working with them for a long time. And so for me, when I still have these experiences, they're really physically visceral for me. And I
Well, and they
find
are. That's, I
I,
think, one of the things that's so
yeah,
amazing.
I come out of these meditations and I'm kind of giggly and excited like a little kid. So it's just beautiful energy to be part of, and still kind of integrating that yes, I am worthy, and you know, yes, we are all worthy to receive this information,
Right.
this
Yeah, we
connection.
are all divine.
Yeah, it's just
You know, it's,
beautiful. I
yeah,
love it so much.
yeah.
So
Then the more we can integrate that truth too, the better
yes, yes,
things are for us. And I
absolutely.
think the less we'll doubt.
I agree. I feel and the connection is so immediate with working with angels, which I just
Mm-hmm.
love. You know,
Yeah.
it feels like it's almost immediate. You ask them to be there and they're right there. So
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, just love it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. So we are right at the end of our time already. It went really fast, I
It
thought.
did. It did.
But it was nice, like you said, just to be able to be spacious with it and
Mm.
present to it. So that was great. So with that, would you like to share how people can find out more about you and anything special you're doing right now?
Oh, yes, thank you. Actually, I am in the process of creating a new program. People can find me though right now at spiraljourney.net. That's my website. It has the most comprehensive list of all of my services. You can also connect with me on Instagram. I'm at Spiral Journey Gretchen, and and on Facebook, I'm Spiral Journey Holistic Life Services, or Gretchen Comer, like my little name on my window says here.
Mhm.
But I'm also getting ready to launch a new program in the next month, all about self-love for empaths. And I feel like it's an important topic right now for people. And yeah, if anybody wants to stop by, you can like me, follow me. I'd be honored. And and I'm also on YouTube. I'm Spiral Journey Holistic Life Services on YouTube as well.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah. Well, so many opportunities.
Yes.
And Awakenings Institute, we created a little gift set for that you can obtain for Christmas. It's called the Angelic EFT gift set, which is really we're going to be doing a live webinar coming up on December 14th on how to do angelic EFT, which is actually drawing on the the energy of these beautiful beings, like the ones we connected with today, for supporting us on our journeys. And along with it, there's an Archangel's guidebook and a set of beautiful angel cards that you can have around you just to remind you of the angels who are supporting you so beautifully from above. So we have that. And of course, we'll be back here again next week. So have a wonderful week. Oh, I should actually say, I forgot the part about how you can support the circle. You can like our page. You can also be my friend on Facebook if you want. You can share this video with your friends, and you can invite your friends to join you and come together to the circle. It's a wonderful, there's a lot of thought-provoking and I think enriching conversations that you might want to be involved in with your friends. So with that, the final part is sending that love and light out to the coming week. I think we had a pretty good vision of vision of the future already.
Yes.
Just all of that light is here for us this week, and just see yourself moving through it, trusting in the divine and knowing that there's positive potential in everything that's happening in your life.
Yes.
So with that, I want to say have a wonderful week,
Goodbye.
and we'll talk to you soon.